Namaskar. So we are completing another journey around the sun, and right now we're passing through some of the darkest days of the year. And yet at the same time, there is already that seed of light that is starting to imperceptibly emerge. I just love this time of year. Darkness we usually associate with negative things, but darkness is also a time for accumulating energy. When we go to sleep every night, the darkness is what helps us, being in a state of inertia is what helps us to accumulate energy, to renew our forces, to be ready for a new day. In the same way as we enter this time of year, it can be a time, for me, it's a time of reflection, of looking back and kind of gathering together what are the lessons I've learned, what wisdom is there, what can I take with me and go into a new fresh start of a year. I just love it that we always get a chance to make a fresh start, that the universe is organized in these cycles of nature, and how in the darkest time, you're already moving closer again to the light. So when we realize that, it can help us to become fearless, to not be ever completely demoralized by setbacks, by obstacles, but to realize that those are moments where we are gathering strength, we are gathering wisdom, we are learning. And the energy that we collect during that period is going to carry us forward so that we can shine again in the new cycle. Nothing goes only in a straight line. Everything's operating to these ups and downs, to these cycles of return. Rumi also talked about this, and he talks about how the night cancels the busyness of the day, and the day shines away the inertia of the night. And that in the darkness, we are refreshed. So I invite you to take time to really reflect and realize where you've been in this journey of this year. I just had a lovely opportunity. A friend of mine invited me to an event where she was leading a reflection about the closure of the cycle and the preparation for the new one. And she took us through a visualization of just imagining month by month and thinking of all the moments that we've had of warmth, of sweetness, of connection with nature, of difficulties, of sadness, of loss, and taking us through all of those ups and downs, and then reflecting on which areas of your life feel complete, which areas do you want to work on, and setting your intentions for the new year, for the fresh start. There's a practice that every day when you wake up, the first things that you think of set the energy of the day. Your mind is still in a subtle state as you wake up. It's still not quite fully present in the conscious mind. It's still floating in the subconscious mind. It still has access to the power that is there as well. And so when we use that moment to program ourselves with a very positive intention, we use some of the oaths that we take when we start the spiritual journey to not harm anyone, to help others, to always respect our meditation practice as our deepest, most sacred secret. And this helps us to gradually become that, to be able to become someone who can never harm, who's always helping, and who has a deep sense of the sacred. So I invite you to really create this new, fresh start to the year. I will be going to a meditation retreat and greeting the new year with singing, with joy, with dancing, with many, many people. This has been my favorite way to start the new year ever since the moment that I was initiated. This time of the year for me is also the time of my spiritual birthday. I had the good fortune to be initiated by a wonderful Didi from Romania when I was in the US. And it was during a retreat for the New Year's. So it was just on the 31st, sitting by a lake, that she introduced me to personal meditation, gave me my own mantra. And it was the beginning of such an amazing journey. But I remember walking in to that retreat, and everybody was dancing what we call an Akhanda Kirtan, a long chanting of 3 hours or multiples of 3 hours. And I just felt lifted. The moment I entered that energy, it was just a vortex attracting my mind and vibrating me and bringing tears to my eyes of joy that was so intensely beautiful. And singing like this, I just felt this expansion of love towards everything. I wanted to embrace everybody. I felt so much love melting my heart. This, I thought, was the most fantastic way to start the new year. And I became addicted to that. I couldn't imagine now spending the new year in any other way. I just find it such a pure, ecstatic kind of way to greet the new year, filling yourself up with positivity and with spiritual joy. So that was in 1995, already 27 years ago. You know, I feel like, wow, 27 years, oof, I should really be so wise by now. But the reality is that I feel like always, we're always starting again, starting fresh. And this is a wonderful way to be, to just always be curious, always feel that you're just beginning, you're just exploring. And this gives us a feeling of freshness. So I wish that you start your new year with some reflection and with joy. And that even if right now our whole world has been passing through one of the darkest points spiritually for our collective consciousness, there's so much materialism. We've been passing through some, collective hardships of the pandemic. There's been war, many difficulties, but there's also a gathering of strength, of wisdom, of clarity, of light that is emerging at the same time. So even while those forces might seem so powerful and stronger than us, they are not. The light is reemerging. It is destined to reemerge, and it's up to you to choose where you want to be. What do you want to add your energy personally to increasing the forces of cynicism, of doubt, of materialism, or to purify your mind, to align yourself with the deepest part of your heart, with all that goodness, with all of that love that is deep inside of you, just wanting to express and to shine, and to bring that into the world. I see so much sensitivity and emerging clarity and wisdom coming from so many young people. And it's so exciting to feel that hope for the future emerging. You can be part of it. So I encourage you, if you haven't started already, the new year is a wonderful time to start a new chapter in the journey of your life and to really help to increase, be part of that emergence of light, of clarity, and hope for the whole planet. So I wish you a wonderful start to 2023 with lots of love, with lots of light, with lots of spiritual energy. Namaskar.